That is tremendous. So,
Mm,
all right. So, do you have an idea, Matt?
trying to sling something together.
So this evening, while you're thinking, I'll tell you a little bit about this evening's job. Um, so just after sunset, the broker summons the crew to the Gilded Leaf, a tobacco house in the in the Savrolo district of Coal Smoke. The Gilded Leaf is a dimly lit, smoky establishment with wood-paneled walls, thick carpets, comfortably plush armchairs, and a fine selection of brandy. Um, I don't want to just read this to you because that's sort of boring, but basically think of an old school like mahogany walls, deep leather armchairs, secluded niches. No table can really overhear what the other tables are are seeing or talking about. Um, Big, thick cigars, probably a hookah, because Matt's playing with us tonight. The broker's name is Tommy Fang, and he is formerly he's retired now, but used to be a member of the Red Lotus. The score tonight is Tommy's basically going to tell you guys one of the almanacs that the chemists of the Red Lotus had used to formulate their gunpowder has been stolen. We know who stole it, and his name was Jaeger Blackknife. Um, he is hiding the he's hiding in his lair um, in the Ashfall district, and we're pretty sure that his lair is a tannery. Um, and he's hired one of the nobles who knows how to read and write, because that's not a real common thing here, um, and who can write very legibly, to copy the book. So you have 2 days, uh, a day, a night, a day, and then the final evening you have to go make an attempt to steal the book back. Um, and that's the job. So the reward is if you succeed, you will get a respect from the Red Lotus Society. If you recover the book intact, you get an extra respect. You don't necessarily have to bring it back intact, though. You can destroy it. And if you just so happen to kill the noble scribe, I'd really appreciate that.
nice.
Okay.
Well, you want for him to die.
Let's just say I wouldn't be terribly upset if he had to go sleep with the blade fins.
Is there extra reward for the blood?
Absolutely.
Blood is expensive.
Respect from the Red Lotus Society doesn't come cheap.
Yes.
So the first segment that doesn't actually count towards the day and then night is called the planning segment. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to basically shut up. And you guys are going to have a chance to figure out what you want to do and talk about your plans and kind of things that you want to do. So let me give you some information before we go into planning. Matt, did you come up with a name and a deal?
I figure. I mean, she's an assassin, so I wrote down something like, "People are nothing but obstacles for me. Whether I sneak or stab, it's no love lost." And character's name, Kaylin Eventide.
Cool. So on your character sheets, on your cartel sheets, it should tell you that you know about certain things. So, Mike, what's your character's
Talking
name?
about the. Are you talking about the PDF?
Yeah,
Okay.
My character's name is Gavril Sokolov.
Gavril. And one more time, Matt.
Kaylin Eventide.
Kalen. All right, cool. So for the circle, it says you know about the right kind of people, the castle, jails and prisons, Vladov history, other members of okay, and then for Wardens of the Night, it says you know about the Crown, the reserves, outside the city, nature and survival. And then for specialties, I don't think those actually say you know about any things you know about. Let's see. No. Okay. Cool. So let's see. No, you guys don't know about the blooded or sorcery, commoners. Do you guys know about merchants? Did I say merchants, nobles,
No.
or alchemy? All right, cool. So let me take you to the map, and we can go from there. So you guys right now are in Coal Smoke, and the tannery is on the south tip of the Ashfall district. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to know a little bit about the city, the west side is a little bit more affluent. And then if you go from the Temple District to the east of the Mara Kamaratsa, not including the dregs, that's sort of the shift between affluent and the poorer parts of the city. Coal Smoke and Ashfall are pretty industrial, but think very, very beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Industrial, like assembly lines aren't really a thing yet, and everything that they make on them is or on in the factories is still basically handmade. Just a lot of people doing the same thing at once, and chemical waste is sort of a pretty common thing. Rustwater is where all of the like the steel and things are, like the steel mills. The Quiet and Silent Hill are the cemeteries. Um, and then the Coin Kissers Row, that's where all the banks are. The Rezona is where a lot of the noble houses are, and the Shifting Market is where all of the like where it's basically the marketplace, but it's all on boats in water. So that's pretty cool. And then the Five Towers is where like the the five different families that have been appointed by the Duke each live in obviously high towers, but they're like by appointment only. Basically, it's not something that you can inherit. You have to prove yourself. So right now you guys are in Coal Smoke, in a relatively nice place for this area, but there's a lot of sort of illicit money that goes in and out of here, so it's not really that surprising that things are nicer than you think they should be. And like I said, the tannery is on the very south tip of the Ashfall district. One more thing before we go into the planning session. Matt, if you could go to roll 20 and go to the collection. Looks like 3 sideways eyes. You there?
Oh, I was thinking you meant like eyeballs. I'm like, what the hell are
3
you talking
sideways
about?
letter eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
So click on Show Macro Quick Bar, and then the ones that are not capitalized, you want to make sure you have those in your quick bar because there's not really a character sheet for this. It's just I just had to make the macros. So
You said the ones that are not
the
capitalized?
ones that are not capitalized, correct.
Okay. So I've got 4 of them along the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick, did you say who like what cartel or group Jaeger Black Knife was working on behalf, or
He is
or
a
do we
member
not know
of
that?
he's a member of the Blooded, which is not one of the cartels that you can play. They are the bad guys, basically. They live outside of the secret piece.
Mm-hmm.
The secret piece is basically an agreement between the City Watch and the cartels that they won't mess with the nobles unless it's absolutely necessary. And the Blooded are hated by both the City Watch and the cartels. So that's sort of their deal. Um, they're also sort of magical, like just a little bit, but all magic that's not state sponsored is illegal. So
Okay.
You said they're hated by the City Watch and the cartels?
yes,
I guess that would beg the question of just curiosity. Why would we do a job for someone like that then if we're part of a cartel?
you are being asked to do the job by the Red Lotus to steal back something that this guy stole.
Oh, okay. That's the target. That's not like
Yes.
the guy who's giving us the mission.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's the target.
so the Blooded, they operate outside of the what I kind of call the honor amongst thieves
Exactly.
motto. So
Things you can do during the scenes prior to the final scene is you can do a little legwork by either casing the joint, so going to a specific location and like skulking around and watching. You can go to a bar and buy drinks to try and make some lips get loose by encouraging people to tell you things that they wouldn't necessarily tell you. Other things that you can do, you can go on a specific shopping trip. If there's something that you think that you need that is not mundane, you can go procure that. The other thing you can do is you can call on the other cartels. You can go like meet with a kappa of one of the other cartels if you feel like you need some help from one of them. Those are just suggestions. They're not like the only options.
okay. So Kaylin, you say you know about the crown?
Yes.
Is that considered noble?
Is it?
Sure, if you want it to be.
Oh, these aren't like set facts. Like,
I mean,
what is the crown?
so the crown is like the duke, and nobles are like the people who are like under him.
Okay. That I gotta say already, I'm feeling like there's a god awful amount of information that either I am not aware of and was supposed to be, or not aware of and feeling buried by it. So like I know about these things, but I
No.
don't.
When it says you know about things, I have a sheet that's like the scenario that tells me if your characters know about this, give them this information.
Okay. So then I do know about the crown. So what you were saying was you filling in the gaps that I would actually have. Like I don't know what the crown is, so
Right.
That's just
Right. So this
the king, more
says
or less.
if you know about nobles, um, one of the people that you know about, if you know about nobles, is Idris Straussel, and Idris Straussel is a scribe, and he is the scrivener who is responsible for translating the almanac for Jaeger. And he's the youngest son of a very minor noble, and he enjoys like going and smoking and drinking and carousing with the blooded. And he's kind of tall, and he has curly blonde hair, and he likes to think he's cooler than he actually is, but he's not.
So if one of us knew about the nobles, that would be information that we would benefit from knowing.
Right. That would be the sort
Okay.
of thing that you would get.
So then if Mike's asking me about the crown, then what would I know about the crown since I do know about that?
There isn't anything in this job that is specifically tied to the
Okay.
crown.
So I guess to make that long story short, then it's not relevant.
Not at this point. It might be later on if you guys run into like one of the Duke's spiders or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but not necessarily at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that's kind of more or less what I would say to Gavril is, what that. Well, I don't even know what I would say in that case. If he's asking me specifically about the crown and it's not related to this job.
Did you want to know some more about the crown, Mike?
No, I was kind of using the things you know about as kind of role-playing cues, maybe, and
Gotcha.
thought you could relate the crown to the nobles, but it seems like that's a specific thing.
Yeah.
All right, I gotcha.
We can learn to play together.
Yeah.
There's going to be very much of that. That 15-minute time limit you said is hilarious.
It hasn't
Hilarious.
started. It
I
hasn't
will
started
spend
yet.
10 minutes of that going, what the fuck am I supposed to know, Rick? God damn it.
So basically, what you guys can do is figure out something that you feel like you want to do to gather some information or help yourselves along with the goal of stealing back the document from, or the book from Jaeger Blackknife.
Yeah.
So
like one thing I know I would probably do is basically I want to find a tavern or drinking establishment where there might be either learned book folk who would know about scribners and things like that, or places that have of sympathy to the blooded, and try and get information by basically drinking with people.
Okay. So you know that there is a bar not too far off of the main island of Coin Kissers Row that's called the Crossed Keys. And there are several, scribes and minor, pages and lawyers and people who work in the in the financial district frequent this particular establishment. While it might be a little bit risky for you to be in there, being as drinking is sort of your deal, it's not going to be completely out of character for you to be even in the nicer areas of town to go drink there. It would be more challenging, however, than going to the Randy Goat, which is a bar in the Cauldron. This is one where there's a sort of an unspoken neutral zone, so to speak, where all of the different cartels and the Blooded and the City Watch can all come in here and and sort of let their hair down a little bit. Um, and there's the proprietor is Simon Greenfinger, and he has a strong policy against violence in his establishment, and so the Randy Goat is safe for all comers.
Okay. So and is it if you've seen Kingsman, is it kind of like we don't conduct business here,
Yes,
safe zone? Like, so if I were to go in there and try and conduct business, it would be frowned upon.
it's McAnally's from the Dresden Files.
Okay.
I picture it as John Wick, that hotel.
It's the hotel from John
Not
Wick,
do
exactly.
shit on
Or yeah,
hotel
yeah,
grounds.
yes, John Wick. I was thinking John Wick
Yeah.
Kingsman. Yeah.
I thought that's where you might be going, but I was like, it's been a minute since I've seen that the Kingsman. So I'm like, was
Yeah.
there something like?
No, I'm thinking John Wick totally.
It's the hotel from John Wick.
Okay. So either some taboo poking and prodding in the neutral zone, or
No, it's not taboo for you to be in the Randy Goat. You can't draw steel.
okay, but like I can.
You can ask, you can drink, you can arm wrestle, but no knives, no steel, no fisticuffs,
Okay.
no weapons, essentially.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I'm good with that. I think that's where I'd go for my leg work. And I'd say, Galen, you're more than welcome to come along.
Based on looking at my class and everything like that, I think I'd be more likely to go for something where I try to gain information about Jaeger Black Knife, such as exploitable weaknesses. So I imagine I'd want to try to, I don't know how I would learn from that, because I'd need to know where he is to tail him, and if that's the case, I could just kill him and be done. So maybe, I don't know, like how, maybe gain information from other
So if you
known
want to,
wanted in the city, or City Watch, or other cartels, because they hate him too, so they might have more knowledge about him.
if you wanted to, you could go like sort of skulk around and watch the tannery. You could like
Case the joint.
You could case the joint.
Basically, case. Okay.
You could also, if you wanted to, try and go to another area of the. If you didn't want to tip them off, you could go to another area of blooded, where you know they're going to be blooded people around, and try and like just hide in the shadows and overhear stuff if you wanted to do that too.
I feel like the information found by maybe checking out the tannery would be more directly helpful. And if the blooded are hated by pretty much everybody else, I wouldn't want to get myself into a situation where I'm in an area filled with blooded people. So
That's fair.
To Gavril's invitation, I will simply say, like, you go have your fun in the bar. I'll do some actual work.
So, and here's my understanding of how legwork works, right? So we each get a legwork scene, and so like I lead my scene, and you're welcome to come with.
Mhm.
And then you lead your scene. I'm welcome to come with.
Oh, cool.
And they aren't necessarily happening in sequence. They can either happen in tandem, or it can be a montage type thing.
That's cool. If it's not something where we have to do different things, yeah, I'd come along.
You each have the opportunity to do different things during the first nighttime segment, and then after the nighttime segment's over, so after you have a scene, after Mike has a scene, then you have a choice to make, and then we'll do the daytime, and things will be a little bit different because people won't be out at the bar drinking, and there won't be shadows to hide in and that sort of stuff. So things will be a little bit different. You'll have an opportunity to do some different things, and then you'll go from there.
Nice.
but yeah, you guys are both totally welcome to come and like hang along, tag along. Most of the stuff that'll be happening will be for Mike, and then you'll be around if you want to like assist, or if you want to go distract somebody while he tries to do something super epic. That would that's sort of the point of that.
Yeah, because basically we have all night.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we'll do both of our things in one
segment.
Evening.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say, man, that would suck if you split up, because you need the nighttime for a bar to be working, and I'm not gonna stake a place in broad daylight. So yeah, that would suck if we had to be like splitting day and night. Okay, cool.
So Gavril, I think I will suggest if it is a sneaky thing you want to do, perhaps we should wait for my plan, and
not be pissed drunk when you try to go skulk around ceilings.
I can hold my liquor very well.
Might make a great distraction later as a drunk in the street, while I get in somewhere. Who knows?
That's a good idea too.
Get extra drunk, Gavril. I agree with your plan. Let's try your bar first, and then we can get to my task.
All right.
So, okay, you want me to be a drunken distraction on yours?
Potentially. I don't know what else you could really do as far as keeping to shadows like I can. As a brawler, I assume you're literally, throwing fists. So
I can. I am fairly good at distracting people.
You also have a 50% chance to. You also have a 50% chance of anything else. Anything you want to do, you have a 50% chance of success. It might have challenge and advantage dice thrown in, but you have a 50% chance of doing pretty much anything else.
Right. What I am very good at is punching people and drinking. It is what I do. Have you not heard of me?
Gavril the drunk, maybe?
Only my enemies call me that.
And they don't call you along, I imagine. That will likely be the best way that you can help with tonight's plan. But for now, I imagine we can go to that bar and see what information you can glean.
All right. So if we're going to a bar, I'm going to get beer.
Nice.
Perfect. So which bar are you going to? The Cross Keys or the Randy Goat?
I feel like the Randy Goat's probably the way to go.
Definitely.
As much as I like the idea of getting information about the noble scribe, I think I'll have more luck in a friendlier crowd.
Fair enough. So the Cauldron is not the nicest place, but there's a lot of money that comes in here and goes out of here. The Cauldron is where a lot of, and the Cauldron and the Narrows are the two islands where a lot of the minor functionaries and mid-level bosses for the cartels live. The Cauldron and the Narrows are think like, have you ever watched Black Sails on Stars?
Mm-mm.
So think Tortuga in 1790, where things are sort of slapdash put together, but then there's silk tablecloths and like ebony chairs and silver goblets, but the buildings are like very poorly made. So it's like a juxtaposition of lots and lots of money, but also things are poorly taken care of because the people who live here are basically criminals and don't necessarily have the time or the want to invest a lot of money because this may be a hideout that they're only in for a week. Make sense?
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
as you're walking through, you see a lot of kids running around, no parents anywhere. You see, women hanging out of balconies, trying to get your attention. People stumbling in the street with mugs of ale. You see somebody get their pocket picked, like just in full view of everybody. Just whoop, pickpocket. So you get to
Wait,
the
wait, hold on. Is this person just like a rando, or uh, do they show any affiliation to any cartel?
so this was one of the people who's just sort of like one of the people who lives in town,
Okay.
not affiliated with a cartel, and they're in the wrong place.
Okay.
You,
Huh.
you know what I mean? Like
Okay. So
wrong
they
place, wrong
have what's
time.
coming to them, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So son of a merchant thought it would be cool to go hang out at the gangster bar, and it ended up being a bad night all around.
All right.
So you get to the Randy Goat, and you give yourself sort of a chuckle at the sign of a very visually aroused goat standing up on two legs,
Mm-hmm.
holding a mug of what you're pretty sure is ale, but the sign's a little faded, so you can't really tell. Um, it is a dark and very loud establishment. Wooden tables scattered, dirt floor, bar. And there's one guy standing behind the bar. You know him as Simon Greenfinger. And he's, hey, Gavril! Usual?
Uh, Vodka.
I keep it back here just for you. By the case you make me buy this stuff.
Well, what can I say? I'm a thirsty man.
Just a shot, or do you want the bottle?
Oh, just a shot right now.
Okay. So he puts a shot glass, pours you a shot, and sets the bottle on the bar. You've been in here a time or two, and he knows how these things usually go.
Yeah, yeah. So I say, so how's business, old Simo?
It's hopping tonight. I can't hardly keep up.
Yeah.
Word on the street is somebody's got some stuff that they're ready to sell.
Stuff that they're ready to sell, huh?
Something big. Nobody's
Something
really
big.
saying what, but something big's about to happen.
A potion, a drug, a poison,
Uh, Weapon of some kind.
a
Big
weapon,
boom.
huh?
Big boom.
Weapon with a big boom, eh?
Normally it's just the Red Lotus that deals in that sort of stuff, but and it's so expensive that other than New Year celebration, we don't really get to see many explosions around here.
Yes, well, interesting you say that. As I understand it, possibly could be the blooded behind this.
Puh, and he spits. Those bastards. I'll never buy anything from them, except your vodka. If that
They
was the
do
only,
make the best,
if that
the
was the
bloody
only
vodka.
place I could get vodka, then I would buy it from them. Puh.
Well, you know, uh, yeah, I hate to just come in here and start talking business to you. How's your kid?
Don't know where he is. Little rascal. Always just runs off. Never stays around.
That's how it is in the cauldron.
Yeah, he'll be okay as long as he doesn't end up dead.
He's a smart kid. He's a smart kid, yes. I
Gets that from his papa.
probably shouldn't tell you this, but the boy can handle his liquor.
You promised me. You
I
promised me you
can't
wouldn't.
I can't control the boy.
But he can hold it.
I mean, nothing like me, but he'll get there one day.
It's a high standard to hold him to. He's only 6.
Oh my god. Now I'm really impressed he was able to hold his liquor. Damn.
Yep. Well, Simo, have you seen any fancy folk come through here recently?
Well, there was this one guy. Tall drink of water. Curly blonde hair. Just asshole expression on his face. And, inky fingers.
Inky fingers.
Yeah. When you go to hand somebody a drink and they look like they've spent their whole day at Miraggio's? That's a bank. That's what this guy looked like.
I don't know much about Miraggio's. I get
you would
money.
Know what it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I get my money and I give it to you for vodka.
Imagine if you had spent all day writing stuff down.
I don't know how to write, so I can't really imagine that. But I get what you're saying. I do.
If you were making pizza all day, you might have something under your fingernails, right?
Or when you spend the day punching people in street fights,
right?
You get blood under your nails. Yes,
right,
like that. Yes.
So I could tell that this guy writes a lot because his fingertips were black. Didn't say much though.
Did he talk to anyone?
He was talking to a couple of the guys. He came in, he had a beer, and he was sort of running his mouth about having some extra coin to throw around. And I think he was gonna go see the Gilded Lilies, and then never saw him again. I hope he didn't pick the wrong girl. Because
they're all the wrong girl.
That's not safe.
They're all the wrong girl.
For you, maybe.
I have very low standards. The Gilded Lilies, they're dirty. I'm just making that up.
Only if you piss him off.
So he was he running his mouth to anyone here that I might be able to go talk to?
There was a group of guys that are in here right now from the Forgotten that had him cornered there for a minute.
All right. Hey, what are they drinking?
Those guys they're real straightforward. They drink beers, and every once in a while, for something really special, they'll get a pint of whiskey.
All right. I assume I have enough money to
whatever money you need, you can. Okay. As long as it's not extraordinary, you can get whatever you need.
So I look over my shoulder and do my best to count, but I really struggle with it. Like I point and then I put a finger out and I point and put a finger out, point, put a finger out, however many there are, and then I go, I'll take this many beers and this many shots of whiskey.
I got it. And so he gives you, he says, I'll send it over. And there's a runner boy comes out from underneath the bar. You're not really sure where he came from, but he just sort of magically appears, and gets a tray full of mugs, sort of totters over, puts it on the table, and then runs away. Comes back and grabs one of the little bottles of whiskey, and brings it to the table, slams it down on the table, and says, "No, no, no, this guy paid for it," and points to you.
And I snatch up the bottle of vodka, and I wink at Simon and say, "You do know me too well," and I push over my money with a generous tip, and then walk over to the group.
All right, Gavril, you shouldn't have. The largest of the forgotten Alvin says to you, and he sort of puts his arm around your shoulder and says, "You come to drink with us?"
Of course, you know me. I'm here to drink, tell stories, have a great time. It's night. We're all done doing our hard work.
It's never a dull night with you.
No, it isn't.
Have you heard about our most recent score?
I have not.
We took down one of the merchants. We got her for 6,000 crowns. That's a lot of money.
6,000 crowns. That I've never held that much.
Well, you'd have trouble because each piece is only 1 crown, and I can't hold 6,000 pieces in my hands. You got to have a couple of big bags and a couple of burly lads to carry it around for you.
Well, I'm burly. Yes. Well, Alvin, you like to drink. Your
course.
friends like to drink.
Love to drink.
I hear you were talking to someone earlier.
Who was I talking to? I've just been talking to me lads.
Fancy pants. Black hands.
That dickwad? I don't want to talk about him. I didn't like him.
I know you don't.
He doesn't like to drink.
Well, I know you. You don't like to give things away for free. So I tell you what. You and your boys, you finish your beers.
They don't even wait for you to finish talking. They finish their beers.
Well, I'm holding the bottle of vodka. That was part of my game. I was going to say, you finish your beers, you finish your whiskey, and if I'm not done with this bottle of vodka, then you don't have to tell me anything.
That's not fair. My bottle's smaller than yours. He points a finger at Simon, and another round of beers and a larger bottle of whiskey to match your bottle of vodka magically appears. The little boy just totters.
But if I finish my bottle first and don't puke, maybe you tell me a little bit about this fancy pants.
All right. So I'm gonna have you make a roll. I'm gonna have you make
going for.
I'm gonna have you make an epic roll.
Okay.
It's not actually called an epic roll in the rules, but I had to differentiate between epic or between advantage, challenge, and both.
Both.
And both sounded dumb, so I changed it to epic.
Fair.
So you are going to have 1 advantage die because you are very good at drinking, and you are going to have 2 challenge dice because drinking a whole bottle of vodka is probably really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your outdrink somebody skill?
Outdrink somebody is 80%.
Okay, so you're looking to roll your percentile dice below 80%.
Below. Yep.
And your advantages and challenges will be scored for you. Advantages and challenges cancel each other out, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so you succeed, and you do not have a challenge or a boon. They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out, yep.
So you succeed. You finish your bottle just before the guys from the Forgotten finish their whiskey, but everybody finishes all of their alcohol. And Alvin is ready to tell you everything he knows about his brief interaction with Idris. So you get to learn that Idris received his education and speaks several languages, knows a lot about linguistics. He also has a weakness for narcotics, specifically poppy smoke. So um, he spends his days in the at his scrivener's desk and his nights chasing the dragon.
Chasing the dragon. All right.
So you are now very drunk.
Yeah. Elvi, you're a good man, and your friends are good men and women, and they can drink with the best of them.
You're also going to learn that they recently took down. He's just going to start bragging um, about the score that they took. Um, but I'm going to make you roll to see if you can actually remember this. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you a roll with one challenge die because you're drunk. And do you have negotiate?
No, I'm looking here. I don't think I have anything that will constitute
To keep him talking?
remembering. Uh, so to keep him talking, I have intimidate, gossip with criminals.
That's perfect.
Gossip with criminals. Okay, that's 65.
That's exactly what you're looking for here.
Okay.
You're gonna try and keep him talking and get some more information out of him.
Okay. And so you said it's challenge?
One challenge die because you're drunk.
Okay.
Okay,
Boom.
so you crush that roll. He's gonna tell you everything, but you get a challenge. So let me tell you what you learn, and then I will give you your challenge here in just a second. So the score that they did was against the Green Line Wagon Company. And the owner of the Green Line Wagon Company is a lady named Favrika Tsedra. And you prick up your ears when he tells you that Jaeger Blackknife is her boyfriend. And she is a very beautiful woman who is unusually tall and goes about the city in a green coach. That's their signature thing, the Green Line Wagon Company. And so they've been dating for a couple of months. She tries to keep it secret, but won't go anywhere in town without riding in one of her coaches. And they're thinking about trying to take her down again because she recently had Jaeger steal something for her. At that point, you're pretty sure that the book was what he stole from her or for her.
Okay.
So I don't
So they
know what she stole, but she definitely stole something, and it was for her boyfriend because she gave it to him. Because immediately after they finished the score, she went to see him. Extra security this time.
Oh, so there's they've got muscle.
Well, I mean, anybody can have muscle if they've got enough coin.
Yeah. So uh, they're they've got this thing they stole, right? And you want the thing too.
I mean, we were thinking about it. Not sure if it's worth anything yet. But it's got to be at least a little valuable because, they stole it.
clearly. It might not be worth your time. It just seems, uh, from what I've heard on the street, it just seems like a book.
No, I don't. Nobody cares about books.
No, no. Nobody cares about books. Do you know where they might have gone though?
I mean, they went to his
I have
hideout.
a score. I have a score to settle with Jaeger.
Oh, well, you better be careful then. They went to his hideout. I've never really been to the hideout, but I know it's in the South Tannery.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, Alvo, I need to go get more alcohol. I'm starting to sober up a little bit.
Okay.
It's been 5 minutes since I drank, so I appreciate you drinking with me and sharing your stories.
Have good mosh pitting. All right, so
Have good watch.
we're gonna call that a scene.
All right,
You got quite a bit of information there with your
plenty.
successful drinking roll. The challenge that you're going to get is that you are going to continue to stay drunk. So your next
Yeah.
roll, you are going to have two challenge dice.
Okay, so I'm even more drunk.
You're even more drunk.
Yeah, yeah, because before I leave the bar, I am going to drink more for sure.
And you're gonna have a compulsion to want to sing later. An
Awesome.
old Russian drinking song.
Gonna start working on it. I'm sure it'll rhyme and everything.
All right, Larson. You are up, sir.
So I want to go, and since it's nighttime, I can see about my appearance. I'm only conspicuous to people I reveal myself to, I guess. At night, you are conspicuous only if you reveal yourself to law-abiding citizens. So I imagine I'm trying to keep super stealthy into the shadows, and I want to check out the tannery.
Yep, being conspicuous generates heat, which is a resource that I use to complicate things.
Oh, good. So if it wasn't nighttime, you'd be making this more complicated for me. But
Exactly. You would run
nice.
into a pack of City Watch, or maybe
Yeah.
I could save it for the final scene to add a plot twist, stuff like
But
that.
thankfully, I'm inconspicuous unless I reveal myself. So
Right. So you are going to go to the southern tip of the Ashfall district, and the Ashfall district is south of the coal smoke, which is there's a lot of people here who are basically laborers. Think of the people who come up out of the mines and their face is sort of streaked and black, and you can see where they've like wiped their forehead off, but they're still like sweating. There's a lot of poverty here, but they're very proud as well. So
this is perfectly fitting because they sound like the type of hardworking people who don't look up at night.
they
They look
definitely
down
don't.
on the ground and their heavy feet as they drag them home.
Unless somebody drops a barrel full of monkeys, or like starts taking children. If you don't make a scene in Ashfall, nobody saw anything. So you get to the southern tip, and you notice that the tannery is the tallest building for several blocks. You can see it far off. It's obviously one of the few buildings that actually has some industry here in the Ashfall district. But tanning leathers means that you need to be near the water, and there's a lot of like sheen on the water, even as far away as you are. The building looks really strange, sort of like it was put together sort of haphazardly and kind of cobbled together over years and years. Um, it's a lot of warehouse space, but also you can tell that that unlike the Narrows and the Cauldron, people take a lot of pride in their homes here, and so it's they've got fresh whitewash, and the holes are patched, and while it's not nice by any stretch of the imagination, it's well kept.
Okay.
So knowing that the tannery is the largest building around, how do you want to approach?
I'd prefer from some sort of like higher spot along some other houses or buildings nearby. I want to try to get a good vantage point.
Okay, you're gonna have a tough time getting a vantage point up top, um, that lets you see a lot of things. You can stay back if you want to, but if you want to get close, there are some shadows in the alleys around it.
Okay.
But you're gonna encounter a little bit more challenge.
Hmm. Well, I want to find out what'll be best for us getting in there and having the least amount of issue. So I imagine maybe then the alleys will be the best point if I can't get a good vantage point up high, so I can try to find out what kind of traffic and interaction are going on down there.
Okay. So as you get closer, you are going to notice that there is a small little aqueduct that's been obviously dug and created specifically for putting water into the tannery, and there's no way that you can see for the chemicals to come out, even though everything is sort of like tinged with the chemicals around there. There's no obvious way where they come out, but there is a channel where it goes in. You also notice there are more um, manhole covers around here than you think there should be. So if you want to pry one of them open, you're going to notice that there's like 12 basements to the tannery. That they're all sectioned off in different rooms. And luckily for you, the one that you opened the first time is empty. But you're able to tell that there are a lot of different basements to the tannery. A lot of entrances through these manhole covers, and also there's also several other entrances that you can see. One to the warehouse that's giant, and another one, on the other side that's just a regular door, and then there's the showroom, and then there's a back entrance where stuff's dropped off. So there's lots of ways in and out of this place.
Well, I'd like something as inconspicuous as possible. That access point, the small aqueduct. How small are we talking? Basically, would Gavril be able to get in without a problem? Because I'm thinking for our entry point.
So it's about 5 feet wide, and the what you can see of the entrance is about 2 feet tall, um, but you're not sure how deep it is because the water's flow. It's muddy water and it's flowing really fast. You're not sure how deep it is, but you're pretty sure that he could cross his arms and water slide in. You're gonna be wet though when you go through it. There's no way to avoid being soaked.
Yeah, and that's not helpful. I guess I'll check out that manhole room and see how that progresses. See if that opens into something that connects into the building. Because last thing I want to do is be going further underground. I have a feeling that this guy probably doesn't live and operate in a basement. He's probably further up in the tannery.
Okay. Okay. Tell me what you want to do when you go down in the basement. So you go down into a room. It's maybe 10 feet by 10 feet. Barrels in the corner. A couple of racks of giant sheets of leather hanging like curtains, and then there's doors on either side.
I'll go to the nearest door to me, and basically I want to kind of press up against it and get an idea of whether or not I can hear anything coming from the other side, or if I can see any light coming in underneath the doorway or anything like that.
Okay. So do you have a skill that would help you out with this? So if you look at your character sheet for
The closest one seems to be having to do with casing the joint. Nothing else. I mean, I think otherwise it would be considered anything else.
this is exactly what that is.
Oh, cool.
This is definitely casing the joint, or even at this point you could use sneak around if you want
Oh,
to.
nice. Well, that's 10% higher. So yeah, I'll do sneak around then.
All right, so go ahead and roll just a let's roll with advantage. Roll with one advantage die because you're pressing your ear to the door and you're really using your skills.
So I just click advantage and choose one.
And choose one. Yep. So with your percentile roll, you want to roll below a 90, which you did, and you did not roll a boon. So you're successful. Nobody hears you, but there is a light coming through on the bottom of the door. There is a group of people playing cards in the other room. You can tell they're haggling over, no, you should have bet more, or you can tell they're playing cards, and they're you can hear glasses clinking, so they are definitely drinking.
Okay. Well, if they're just talking about cards and stuff like that, I have no real need to probably hang around and listen. So I guess I'll go check the other door and do kind of the same thing.
Okay. Again, roll with advantage. All right, so crush that roll. Got an advantage as well. So you can tell as you're down here that this is definitely the hideout. That this is where Jaeger Blackknife and the Blooded are. This is what they're using as their hideout. You go into the other room and it's completely empty, but you see beds and everybody's sort of like their little toothbrush cup, and you can tell that this is their hideout. You're also going to notice that there's one bed that's a little bit nicer than the others, and there's a little pad next to it where an animal would sleep.
Is that knowledge beneficial to me? Did I miss something in that, like Jaeger has an animal or something, or?
It's not necessarily Jaeger's, but you know that if there's an animal here, it's probably a guard dog.
Oh, okay. So I had to be extra good on that one. Okay. So you said the bed's nicer, so I mean, I guess I might kind of just stash that away as maybe that has something to do with Jaeger, or it's just.
It's a crew boss.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other doors connected to this room, or just the one I came through?
No, just the one you came through.
All right. And when I was looking in the room with the guys playing cards, was there any other doors in that room?
Yeah, there's two doors leading off of that room. So the room where the guys playing cards is like the barracks basically. It's like the guard post.
Was the room with the guys playing cards pretty well lit as well?
Yeah, it's brightly lit.
I guess I'll go back out to the street then. Doesn't sound like there's anything else I can do down here.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to fight the guards, but that's not really time for that yet.
Yeah, plus I imagine, I mean, I don't know if that would change the dynamic for when we're trying to steal this thing, but if suddenly there was dead bodies or fights breaking out inside their hideout, like who's to say they'd even be there a day later?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So back up on the street, you are going to make a roll to hide or something along those lines. Let's have you make a case the joint roll with 2 challenge dice. All right. So you failed the roll because you rolled above an 80, and you got a challenge. So as you come up out of the manhole cover, you are going to notice that Gavril is running away, and you sort of like wave at him, and Gavril gives you the high sign that he is running away because there is a dog that is chasing him, and this is a night hound. Um, the night hound is an antagonist, and so that means that we are going to have a little combat here. Combat works a little weird in this system. I'm not sure if I like it, so we'll see how it goes. But here's kind of the basic rules for combat. So you use your skills, same as you would as on any other check. The antagonist goes first, and then you guys go. You each get to take a turn, and you can decide which order you go in. It's completely up to you. After all of the PCs have gone, then the antagonist gets to go, and that goes until the combat's over. Um, the Night Hound has 50 luck, but if you make a physical attack, the luck doesn't count. So it just goes straight to wounds. It also has a bite that if it does get a hold of you, it won't let go until it's dead. So
Fun.
it's not it's not, it hasn't bitten one of you guys yet, and it's actually not going to this round. It's still trying to catch Gavril, and since I sort of sprung this on you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go first.
So I think like I think Gavril is sort of playing a game with this dog at this point. So like how I envision what I'm doing is I'm running ahead, and then I'm gonna stop in the middle of the street, and I will use my compulsion to sing a Russian drinking song, and then and goad the dog, and just kind of like you know, almost just provoke.
Is
Okay.
the dog basically between where I'm coming out of the manhole and following Gabriel, or is he aware of me already?
Yeah, the dog is aware of you, but it's you see Gavril, and then he kind of points behind him, so the dog is further behind Gavril.
Oh, so Gabriel's running towards me?
Yeah, he's running at you.
Okay, got it.
So you're gonna goad the dog.
I'm gonna goad the dog,
Cool.
and I'm just gonna stop in the middle of the street, and I have a bottle of vodka in my hand, and say, "Where are you about, my darling old Shelovek? Working in the garden, my darling Jevushka. What are we going to do today, my darling old Shelovek? We will make some homemade vodka, my darling Devushka."
That's fantastic.
And so I will go ahead and roll.
We're gonna give you an advantage for singing.
Okay. And I have two
You
challenges.
have 2 challenge dice because you're hammered.
And so I am goading 80%, so I succeed, but with 2 challenges.
Yes. So the dog is definitely focused completely on you, but you trip and you stumble and you fall down. So the dog is gonna have a really good chance of getting a hold of your foot when it gets a turn.
And I broke my bottle of vodka.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say that, but you did. So,
I did.
Vodka's gone.
Vodka's gone. I'm covered in vodka.
Don't use any fire, Matt.
Throw a torch.
Well, I'm just saying, the dog might bite me and then just get drunk by the vodka that's covering me.
There you go.
It's true. So, Larson, what would you like to do? Your buddy is fallen down and is getting chased by a dog, and now he's covered in vodka.
Are dogs considered minions? What the hell's a minion?
It is not a minion, it is an antagonist. So a
Okay.
minion it's like if you see a group of the City Watch or like a pack of thugs.
Like those guys playing cards?
Exactly. Those are minions.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I imagine that I want to close the distance and kind of run towards him laying and the dog past him, and I have a hand crossbow that I can fire.
Sweet.
So I imagine fire that at it.
Do it up.
What do I do?
So click the basic roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
Ugh. That is a failure.
Oh, yeah. Because higher number bad in this or whatever.
Yeah, you want to roll lower. But this is the first time that we're doing this, and I don't want combat to take forever. So you have a second-hand crossbow that you are going to fire, and since you have more of an idea of where the dog is, I'm going to give you an advantage die this time.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right. So both
Not
of your
allowed to go smoothly.
both of your hand crossbows miss completely on the Nighthound, but you get an advantage. You get a boon, and your boon is you're able to reach down and drag Gavril up to his to standing, so that he is no longer laid out flat on the ground.
Nice.
All right, and the hound is going to bite at Kalen, and he is going to bite with 2 challenge dice because you are running at him. So he is going to bite you, and you are going to subtract from your luck 30 because he does 30 damage. But his challenge is that his teeth don't stick. So you are actually not going to be a victim of the stone teeth because he had a challenge. And now you guys get to go.
Caitlin, you're the one that got bit, so
Well, I mean, it seems like the best thing that I can do damage with is that crossbow, so I imagine I'll try that again. That's just the basic thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And your second crossbow? So what's your skill for that? What is it? Is your skill 80% for that?
I have no idea
Okay, let me check your sheet.
because it doesn't show as. I mean, oh, there we go. Shoot someone. Sorry,
80%.
That's 80%. Yeah.
All right, so that last one is a success. And the
What
way
was
it
that?
works.
What was that luck decrease thing though that you did to me last turn?
So when you get hit with an attack, it decreases your luck. And then when your luck gets to 0, you start taking wounds.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't affect like these percentages or anything.
No.
Okay.
So the way it works is once you have a hit, that amount goes against the luck of the antagonist. So the Nighthound only has 50 luck, and you hit it right between the eyes, and it falls over dead.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
30 damage was enough to take all of his luck?
No, if you had rolled like a 20, it would add 30. But since you rolled a 78, you did 78 damage base, and then you add 30 to that. So you did 108 damage.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So higher is better on
To a certain point.
attacks up to
Where you
so like if my slash strike stab is 90, I really want to roll an 89.
Right.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
It's a
That's
little
cool.
goofy.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So the Nighthound had glowing green eyes and teeth made out of stone. And so you are sure that this is not a normal dog, but it is laying dead in the street in front of you. And you have made quite a bit of noise. What would you like to do?
We should take the dog and run.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We should probably leave.
Okay. So the dog weighs about 200 pounds.
Jesus.
If you want to take it with you, that's fine. But I'm gonna have you roll a couple. Like, do either of you have run away as a skill?
Run like hell.
Run like hell.
65%.
So you're gonna run like hell with 2 challenge dice if you want to drag the dog with you. If you don't take the dog, you don't have any challenge dice.
Hmm.
You don't have to leave it in the street, but taking it with you and running away is gonna be tough. You can do something else with it, but
Well, as an assassin, I'm not about to be caught by anybody like this, so I'll pull out my crossbow bolt and I'm fine with just leaving.
Does he have a collar or anything on?
he does. He has a collar, and it says Blackie.
Blackie. Okay. So I'm just gonna shrug and be like, ugh. So I'm gonna yank the collar off and run,
Nice.
leaving the dead body there.
Okay. As you are running away, after you've taken about 2 or 3 steps, you are going to look down and read the tag, and it says, "If found, please return to Beatrix Eartaker."
Beatrix Eartaker.
Yep. And Matt, that sparks something with you. You are pretty sure that, or you're sure that Beatrix Eartaker is the underboss who had the fancy bed in the basement. And based on the hound's appearance, you're pretty sure she knows something about sorcery.
Mm-hmm. I just take the tag and look at it and shrug and hand it over to Kaylin. Maybe you can read this.
And it sounds like I gleaned that information and connect that was the person down in the. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's the underboss from the fancy bed. Okay.
So we're gonna call that a scene. And now it's the morning, and you guys have a couple of options. So just based on time, we can do another legwork segment, or you guys can do a planning segment where you just sort of talk about how you want to do your final plan, and then we'll do the drama scene, the final scene. It's up to you. Do you guys feel like you need to do more legwork?
I mean, I do kind of want to. So in terms of a timeline, so we had the night, we have a day, we have another night, and another day,
Yes.
and then the drama scene.
No, you have 3 more scenes total. 3 more segments total.
Okay.
And then we have to be done with it, or else we didn't complete the job in time, right?
Right. And so far, you have generated 6 heat.
Okay. So I kind of want to follow up on the narcotics angle for Idris. Um, although I kind of feel like I have to wait till night to do that because
Not necessarily.
he spends his nights chasing the dragon, so I would assume I would go to an opium den. Now, I maybe opium dens are open during the day too, and I could go ask around at one in the general area.
So you know for sure that the opium dens never close.
Okay.
Kaylin, do you feel like you need to do some more legwork?
I don't think there's really much I can do because of the way that I dress during the day. I'm conspicuous as fuck, and so I can't case anything. I can't check anything out, and I have no targets to chase down or information to really follow up on. So I don't see any point to me doing anything during the day.
Okay. What you can do, if you want to, is you can blow off steam. What that means is you recover all wounds and you go back up to 100 luck. What you do when you blow off steam is you tell me about how you engage in your particular vice of choice.
Okay.
And you can still accompany on a scene. That this doesn't take you out of that.
Just imagine something kind of frivolously physical or something like that, like repeatedly stabbing the shit out of like a crate or something like that, since I can't go and find somebody to murder in a street. So
Like the poor leather dummy full of rubber.
yeah, something like that, where it's just I'm beating the shit out of it, and I've got 5 knives on me, and I'm just like knife in each hand, just fucking stabbing it like stupid goddamn hound.
Like it. I like it. Cool. So take yourself back up to 100 luck, and let's go visit Farmer Joe in the opium den.
Farmer Joe in the opium den. So first, I would like to try and make myself look as much as possible like an opium smoker, because I imagine I don't really come across as an opium smoker. So I would like to try and muster up a disguise as best I can.
Okay. Do you have a skill that will help you with that?
I have created disguise.
Excellent. Because you particularly don't look like an opium smoker, I'm going to give you a challenge die. But
Okay.
because you know exactly where you're going and who you're going to talk to, you're going to have 2 advantage dice.
Okay. So my skill is 65.
So you succeed.
So I end with 1 boon. So succeed with a boon.
All right. So you are going to find in your hideout a like ratty old like shawl sort of thing that has the emblem of the particular opium den that you're going to. That's like it's really worn out, but it's something that marks you as somebody who's been there before.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. Miss Eventide, would you like to come smoke some opium with me?
Oh man, not particularly.
Fair enough.
It dulls my abilities. I no, I would not like to partake.
Okay.
You're a hardcore brawler. Drink at night and do opium in the day.
Well,
So
I don't plan on really doing opium. I just, I got to play the part.
Ah, okay, okay.
the
No,
other
I
thing you can
don't
do,
think I'll be able to fit in that well with you. So yeah, you can definitely solo that one.
the other thing you can do is if he gets into trouble, you can spend 20 luck to come in the middle of a scene.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's
So
good to know.
if you have an idea of like, oh shit, I can do this, you can spend 20 luck and come in and like break into the scene and do something.
Interesting. Okay.
So, all right. So the opium den is in we're gonna say it's in Catchfire, which you guys can't see because I moved you. So let me move you back. Catchfire's over here. The reason it's called Catchfire is because everything is made of basically kindling, and it has burned down several times. Um, so Ashfall has that name for more than just because of coal smoke. Things tend to fall apart in catch fire. So
Hmm.
when you get to
Okay.
the opium den, it is one of the very few buildings that are made of stone, but it is only stone on the first floor. There are a couple of different basements that go down below each other, and then there are two levels that go up. But the top floor is basically just an open air roof, um, where people who like to be outside can do what they do there. Um, Farmer Joe, when you get there, is going to kind of look at you a little weird because you've got the mark, but you don't. He's not somebody that you know, so he's not real sure what you're doing here.
Hey, hey, man. I was wondering if you can help me out, man.
I I don't know you.
You wouldn't. I frequent a different and then I got this from my good friend Idris. Well, he used to be my friend till he fucked me over.
He never did have a good head for business. What's he done this time?
Well, I start scratching myself a little bit. He stole my shit.
Me cheat.
Like your excrement? Common is not Farmer Joe's first language.
My
He's
my puppy.
oh well, yeah. He's sort of a dick. Sometimes he
I
doesn't
I
pay.
I hear he came here. Comes here.
Yeah, he's not allowed here anymore.
Yeah, well, I need to find him. He owes me a lot of money.
Well, he just paid his debt to me. Said he got some sort of big score. Came in, paid off everything he owed me in cash.
Yeah,
Never
it was
done that before.
probably my shit.
Me cheat.
He wouldn't sell poppy. He would smoke it.
Yeah, well,
He definitely got some sort of big bag of gold. As he came in here and paid himself off for the last year. He's been begging me for credit and paying a little bit and paying a little bit. Never seen him have that much gold before in my life. But I haven't seen him
mm,
in almost a week. So I know he was getting ready to hide out. Normally he doesn't take stuff with him, but said he couldn't come for about a month. So I gave him after he paid his debt off. He used the rest of the gold he had to buy what he could from me.
you've got to know where he went. I, I'm Jonesing, man. I need my stuff back, man. You know how it is.
At this point, Farmer Joe's basically told you everything he's willing to tell you. Um, but you could probably get a little bit more out of him if you succeed on your gossip with criminals roll.
Yeah, so I was going one of two ways here. So it feels like he's not willing to share things because well, I'm saying maybe like convince him or intimidate him.
Okay, if you want to intimidate him, that's cool.
So think mm, I think Gadril or Gavril would probably go towards the intimidation route.
Ooh.
As he's playing his character of a strung out junkie, and so he'll kind of grab him by the collar, both hands, say, "You've got to tell me more, man. You you probably don't run into so many junkies that are like me. I'm strong like bull."
All right. Go ahead and roll with 2 challenge dice, or 2 advantage dice and 1 challenge die. Because he's a little freaked out that you grabbed him, and you're definitely way stronger than a lot of the thugs or a lot of the junkies that he has to deal with.
All right, so 70 will succeed, and those will cancel out. So just a straight success.
Cool. So he's going to totally be intimidated. Like, all right, man. Okay. I don't know for sure where he went, but I know he was dealing with the blooded, and he was going something with he was going to do some stuff with them, and he was with a lady who had some E or something. I don't know her. I don't know her name. But I remember.
Favrika.
No. Ear taker.
Oh, ear taker. Yes, ear taker. Yes. Beatrix.
Yeah, and she was. I mean, she was paranoid. She didn't want him to stay. She didn't want him to smoke. She's paranoid all the time.
They didn't say what they were doing. How many there were?
A recipe, maybe? They were something that doesn't make sense because he always just buys his stuff. He doesn't make it. Some sort of recipe, something. I don't know. There's only the 2 of them.
So I let him go and kind of step back and scratch cheek a little bit. Listen, I'm very sorry. It's been days since he stole my puppy. Just a bit strung out.
You need to take the edge off. You can go upstairs for free.
For free?
I mean, don't hurt me. Promise not to hurt me. You can go upstairs.
Is there like a willpower hole here? Maybe it's just like an anything else roll here.
Actually, that's going. It's going to be an attack on you.
Okay.
So he is going to succeed, and you are going to lose 39 luck.
All right. Math is hard. Okay. All right. So I assume he's convinced me to go upstairs, and
I mean, you don't have to, but he is definitely trying to convince you.
I'm gonna say that the luck is me going up and probably I figure I feel like Gavril's probably done opium in the past, and it was something he tried to put behind him, but this was just too easy. So I mean,
Okay.
he's gonna relapse a little bit here.
All right. Go ahead and do you have like Constitution or something? What are your what's your thing? Let's see. Brawler
Out
does
outdrink someone
yeah. Roll out drink someone with 3 challenge dice.
with what?
3 challenge.
3 challenge. Okay.
Because this shit is way more strong than vodka.
Oh, it's a fail with 2 challenges.
All right. So you are going to lose.
And I do the
Um,
mission alone.
you are going to lose another 50 luck.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And the challenge is that you are not entirely sure where you are, and it's going to take you the next segment to get back to the hideout.
Yeah. Yeah. I got that. Yep.
No.
That was a pretty rough little deal there. All right. So Matt, did you blow off a sufficient amount of steam?
I believe so.
Cool. So what I'd like to do is Matt, you're going to be kind of waiting around for your buddy here, and because we're running up on what I had hoped would be the time for this, we'll just do a little planning, and then we're gonna do the final scene. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So you guys want to talk about how you want to approach stealing the book / killing Jaeger?
Well, based on, I assume, us talking by this point, we don't have much to go on. I say we go into that manhole cover that I'd gone into before and start fucking some shit up and murdering some people.
Well, what about this? What about if I maybe make a scene pounding on the front door, create a distraction while you sneak in the back?
That could work.
There didn't seem to be that many of them. There's clearly Jaegers there. There's Beatrix there. There's at least 2 lackeys. There's no dog. We took care of the dog.
You're the hound.
And then there's possibly Idris, who seems like he's probably useless in a fist fight.
Well, not to mention, if you do end up getting in a fight with them at all while making the distraction, I can hopefully still sneak up on some of them and take them out before they even know I'm there.
The only thing we don't really know is where this formula is, and if I had to guess, this seems like a formula for a bomb, some kind, just based on everything we've heard. Sounds like so maybe if as you're sneaking through, you see the items necessary to create explosives or something like that.
Keep an eye out. Yeah.
That would probably be where you could find the formula.
Yeah. If not on his person, I don't know if he'd want to let that formula be left anywhere other than with himself, perhaps. Which will get it off his body when he's dead.
I will kill everyone.
He will be killed, and so will all of his friends. They're in our way. Yeah, that sounds good to me, though.
All right.
Distraction at the front, and then try to swing around to the back.
All right. So I am totally in a bad way though. I'm at 11 luck, so
Okay.
so I might not last long there. We'll see.
All right. So you guys are going to make your way back to the tannery, and things look a little different. There is a group of guards that are sort of not really patrolling the outside, but they're definitely watching for people and looking out. They're not great at seeing stuff, and they're not really paying very close attention. But there are 8 of them.
Oof. Oof.
Hmm.
I think still I think our plan is probably still pretty solid. I'll create a distraction.
Yeah. As I'm kind of sneaking towards the back and around it, as you start making the distraction, though, I'm going to keep an eye out. If things seem to turn real quick on you, I'll probably end up trying to just join you in taking down those guys so that you're not getting in a giant fucking fight with a ton of guys.
Okay. So I think what old Gavril's gonna be doing here is he's just gonna walk up to the front door all nonchalant like and just start pounding on it and say Idris, good buddy, let me in.
So 2 of the guards are going to come over to you and like say, "What are you doing here? Who are you looking? Who is Idris?"
Oh, he's my learned friend. He told me to meet him here. He had lots of things to tell me.
He doesn't. He's not here. We've never heard of anybody like that. There's.
Oh, he's a fancy man. He has black hands because it's all covered in ink. He can write things really
No.
well. He
You
talks
need to.
lots
You
of
need to go.
languages.
You need to go.
Oh, listen. I know what he told me. He's here. I know he's here.
All right. You gonna try to convince them?
I don't know if. I guess I'm trying to convince them. Yes.
All right. Roll to convince them.
So I either have create distraction or
That's perfectly acceptable.
or distract someone or gossip with criminals. Probably distract someone.
Distract someone.
So okay.
Just straight up roll.
Straight up roll. So I don't even have enough luck to do my little thing I was gonna do. Okay.
What were you trying to do?
Or wait, I do have. My circle allows me to spend 10 luck to increase my chances of success by 20%. But I'm at 11 luck, so I can spend 10 luck.
You can do that after you see the result of your roll.
Oh, I can.
Yes, because one of the things you can do when you're close is you can push your luck,
Okay.
which normally allows you to decrease the challenge, to decrease your roll by 10 for spending 10 luck, but in your case, spending 10 luck gets you 20.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I am going to go ahead and roll that.
Crushed it. So, the minions are going to essentially, okay, yeah, you're making so much of a scene, they want to bring you inside. So they kind of go inside and they bring you to the other 6 to kind of escort you in. As you're in the antechamber, you now have 6 guards that are with you, and they are just trying to make you shut up. Idris doesn't live here. We don't know who you are. We don't know why you're here, but you won't shut up, and we can't have you making a scene in the street. So why don't you go try to sleep it off or something? And they try to shivvy you into one of the side chambers.
That could be worse.
They are thoroughly distracted. Kalen, what are you doing?
As soon as I basically heard him starting to interact and it not going south, like him, managing to get somewhere, I would have continued around towards the back, basically looking for any way to get in on the way there, even if it's a side window or something like that. But basically not the front entrance.
All right. So, do an epic roll with one challenge and one advantage. We're gonna do sneak around. Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
big
Yay,
time
Nice.
success.
goddamn
So,
time.
you are going to find an entrance into an empty room. That is, and you're gonna be able to tell me, is it on the ground floor or is it in one of the basement rooms?
I'm going to say ground floor.
Cool. So you're basically in a broom closet, but it's not brooms. It's like chemical storage. It's like little flasks and jars all along the walls. It's not a really big room, and there's nobody in here.
Um, any sort of papers, books, things like that? Because it sounds like maybe some of this stuff could be used for explosives.
This is part of the legit business on the ground floor.
Oh, this is the like tannery supplies then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I forgot the basement's where technically the operation's being ran. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to do kind of like I had done previously in the basement, then kind of get up against the door, see if I can tell if there's anything immediately outside of it before opening.
So the outside of this room is a giant warehouse that there are people in, but nobody could see you like right now, and it would be relatively easy for you to get around them because
Okay.
it's
So
like
yeah,
a
I'll come out, start to kind of maneuver a little bit. Is this where they brought Gavril into?
no. He's like in the showroom basically. So he's
Oh,
in the place where people would come to buy a vest or a pair
okay.
of chaps or
This is the
whatever.
actual warehouse where they do the work.
Right.
Okay, well, while keeping aware of what's going on with those people and trying to tell whether or not I guess any of them would happen to be our target, I'm going to start to kind of maneuver around the room then and see if I can find a way to continue down.
Okay. Roll one more time to try and hide in the warehouse.
All right, what did you want me to roll for that? Same thing?
Just a epic or one of each. Yep. All right. So you succeed, and as you maneuver around, you hear heavy boot steps, and you see like the ankles of someone you know from descriptions, and you recognize as Beatrix Eartaker.
Oh,
So
super.
she is patrolling the warehouse while the guards are outside, but you missed her.
Okay. And she's just alone, moving around?
She is by herself. Yes.
Okay.
Sounds like a great opportunity to assassinate someone.
That's what I'm thinking. I want to get into basically position and use my cool little silent takedown. When I attack a target with a physical attack, I can decide whether that neither you nor the target make any noise as part of that attack. Target can't speak or take any action that makes noise until after your next turn. Any witnesses not looking directly at you or your target do not witness the attack.
Yeah, there's nobody around.
Yeah, so it's gonna keep it super fucking quiet. So the most that might be heard is like a slight bump of a body if it works out right. So
2 advantage dice. She does not know you're coming.
Cool. And
All
stab
right.
someone is 80 for me, so
Is how much?
80. So
And then what
definitely.
weapon were you using?
I've got 5 knives on me, so I'm gonna try to just do knife to the like kind of back, neck, jugular kind of thing. I want it one shot kill, done.
So you succeeded and you got a boon. So narrate how you kill her.
Cool. So she was moving above me. You were saying walking around. I heard that kind of footstep or something, or
No,
near
like
me.
have you ever been in like one of like the Amazon warehouse where it's full of like the pallet racks? Or like in
No.
Sam's Club?
Okay. Yeah.
You're in Sam's Club, right? So she's on the other aisle and you're like hiding behind one of the pallets.
Also, it's kind of like I can see through where she was, and I saw her patrolling.
Yeah.
So then I imagine I definitely kind of go between those shelves very smoothly and silently, kind of drop very almost like cat-like right behind her. And with that kind of like, very ninja-esque kind of like shuffle forward, I come up. And because I'm doing the silent takedown as well, just to ensure, it's a mouth cover and just a stab to the back, like bottom of the spine, and just slowly bring her to the ground and quiet since I'm keeping with the silent takedown.
Yeah, she doesn't even get a chance to breathe out before you've killed her. Like she's dead before she hits the floor.
Hell yeah.
Very well
And
done, sir.
I'll take whatever necessary time then to kind of try to stash her in between like those shelving areas, cover with any leathers or anything that are around, so that hopefully nobody discovers the body anytime soon.
Yeah, she's gonna be. It's gonna be a day or two before she starts to smell. You'll be okay.
I figure we'll have plenty of time, and I just don't want her body seen at this point. So
Cool. So there's one of the villains that you had to take out just completely wrecked. Because you got 50, and an assassin's knife does 50 additional damage. So one shot kill with an advantage. So
I will check her body if she has any, like I don't know, bags or pockets or anything on her to make sure she doesn't have anything of interest as well before I continue to move on.
yeah, she has.
Which I imagine then we'll flash back to Gav. So
yeah, she has a little scrap of the people that they've been trying to sell to, but everybody's kind of scratched out because nobody really wants to deal with them. And then you'll see in her chicken scratch, how do I open the chest? Question mark.
Interesting. I'll fold that up and pocket it just in case it's worth kind of noting and not just remembering. But otherwise, I'll move on at that point if we're switching back to Gavril.
Yep. So in the antechamber, in the showroom, Gavril is surrounded by a group of 6 thugs that are trying to intimidate him.
You all seem very high strung.
You shouldn't be here.
Idris told me to be here.
We don't know who Idris is. Idris isn't here.
The fancy man. You know the fancy man. I know you do. You like to drink.
I love to drink. So they are going to do a mental attack against you.
Okay.
Which doesn't inflict physical wounds, but does take away luck. So you lose 29 luck. Which
okay, so I'm at 0 luck at this point.
Takes you to 0. So any physical attacks from now on will inflict wounds. Mental attacks will still treat it as if you had lost luck. So you're basically immune to mental attacks at this point. So they didn't roll any challenges, so they don't have to drink with you. But you're getting a little worried because there's 6-on-1 basically.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh gosh.
And pretty much all you have beyond that is knowing that I tried to sneak into the building from the back. So for all you know, I'm on the other side of the fucking factory.
Okay. Well, I brought this vodka. I hate to drink alone while I wait for my friend Idris. Anyone?
All right, so one of them is going to take a big gulp of the vodka, and I'm really just rolling this for the challenge dice. So he is going to take a bigger drink than he should, and kind of throw the bottle at one of his comrades and fall over drunk. You're now down to 5, and
He can't hold his liquor.
you can make a roll to outdrink somebody. See if you get 2 of them.
All right, I'll give that a shot. So now I'm basically like making fun of the guy on the ground and saying, "You don't want to be a wuss like him, do you? Come on, drink up, drink up."
Is this best you have to offer? Damn.
Crushed it. So yeah, you get another one. It takes a big drink. Says, "Oh, I can do that." Takes a big drink and just has too much, and it trampolines on him. So it goes down and then comes right back up.
I'm there.
And so the guy who's like sort of the leader grabs the bottle and bashes it over the head of one of the other guards, knocking him out. Says, we can drink like men." And takes a big drink of the vodka, and he has a 40% chance to succeed, so he fails.
Damn.
So yeah, you're slowly getting all of these guys drunk. There's only 2 of them left.
So this was the leader.
He's still just a minion, but
But
yeah.
the leader of the 6 there.
Yeah.
So Gavril sees this as an opportunity as he's putting it back, and I can see him kind of gag on the alcohol. I slip my hand into my pocket where I have a set of brass knuckles, and using my lightning reflexes, I just want to reach out and clock him in the temple as he's drinking.
Do it up. You're gonna get an advantage die because he doesn't see it coming.
All right, so 43 and then whatever brass knuckles.
Shattering a fucking jaw.
Yep. So that's going. You're definitely going to take that guy out, and the advantage that you get is the other guy is going to try to like gather everybody. All of his comrades are now hammered, and he has no idea what to do. And so he's like, and just sort of looks around, is completely distracted.
All right, you lied to me. You say you don't know where Idris is. You know where he is. It's time you listen.
So yeah, they're not paying attention to you at all. They're just focused on I mean, the ones who are hammered are on the floor, and the other ones are just kind of paying attention to each other.
Yep. All right. Do we want to go back to?
Not to me.
To Miss
I was going to say
Evans?
that this might be a good chance for you to sneak out into the warehouse, Mike.
Oh, me?
Yeah, because they don't even remember that you're there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Not trying to tell you how to play, but maybe go back together.
I was going to say, because otherwise I was going to head to Mike pretty much on this next one.
Okay. I didn't get that they were like not paying attention to me at all. I thought they were like squaring. I thought they were like squaring up to me.
No. They're 4 of them are on the floor. One of them is cold clocked, and the other one's trying to figure out how to clean up the mess.
Okay, cool. So, so as far as like sneaking away, do I have to roll for that?
No. You defeated the minions.
Okay. Okay, cool.
You defeated the minions.
Okay. Then I will totally do that. Given the opportunity to get out of that situation, I want to do that.
Cool.
Good call.
So you guys are back together. You are in the warehouse. There is a ramp leading down that isn't able to be seen as you come in from the showroom, Mike, or Gavril. But Kalen, you totally see the ramp leading down into the catacombs beneath the tannery.
I imagine I see Gavril come in